Okay, folks, what in the hell is going on with Senator John Fetterman? The more this guy speaks now, the more sense he makes. It's gotten to the point where I actually don't mind hearing what John Fetterman has to say. Of course, we all remember Fetterman's rise to relevance. He took down Dr. Oz after concerns about his own health. John Fetterman had that stroke. Well, remember the wardrobe that he used to wear dominated his campaign. He wears the hoodie. He still wears the hoodie. We were out. Listen, I got to tell you, I was one of the first people to say the guy's got to be more respectful to the office of the Senate and to the chamber and to the body and to the American people. But you know what? I'm kind of starting to like this guy. At the time, there were instances of cluelessness that kind of raised all sort of red flags. Remember, he had just had that stroke. We weren't even sure if he could read. He was saying things that didn't make sense. But here we are, 2025. The Pennsylvania senator seems to be as level-headed as ever. Listen to this guy.
Like, it's really common sense. And I'd like to remind everybody that we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of migrants here illegally that have convicted of crimes. And why, I don't know why, who wants to defend, to allow them to remain in our nation after that? And now, if you're here illegally and you're committing crimes and those things, I don't know why anybody thinks that it's controversial that they all need to go.
Do you think that this was one of, if not the biggest issue for this election?
Well, I think if we can't, there's 47 of us in the Senate, and if we can't pull up with 7 votes, if we can't get at least 7 out of 47, and if we can't, then that's the reason why we lost. That's one of them. That's one of why we lost, in part.
Oh my gosh, it's shock and awe on the left when the senator from Pennsylvania is admitting that the border was one of the reasons why they lost the election. By the way, if you're listening on radio, he's wearing a black hoodie. He looks a little like Uncle Fester. I'm sorry, I said it. Folks, coming from a Democrat, though, the angle on the southern border that he took is a big deal. This entire party on the left wants to leave the doors wide open for all the world's criminals and murderers. But Fetterman, he's siding against basically all of his peers. Enough is enough, he said. Quote, they've got to all go. They've got to all go. Imagine a Democrat saying that. Honestly, Fetterman sounded disappointed in his own party, and he should be. Did you hear him say, that's the reason we lost? He knows that the immigration and the mass invasion of our southern border and other borders, but the southern border specifically from people around the world, Chinese, Taliban perhaps, people, hundreds, maybe thousands of people on the terror watch list, the FBI's own terror watch list, we know for a fact have come through this country in the last 4 years. That's on Biden. But Fetterman knows that this was a top election issue and probably understands that his fellow Democrats did themselves a major disservice by playing politics with our national security. Clearly, the American public, voting public, was pissed off too. That clip caught the attention of Elon Musk, by the way, who gave Fetterman his flowers for being the rare Democrat who speaks with logic and reason. Elon said, and I'm quoting, Fetterman is based, which means honest and truthful. And honestly, I'm starting to agree. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with them. Thank you, John Fetterman, this is Bolling talking, for defying the radical and dangerous rhetoric put out by your political peers on the left. Maybe if more Democrats thought like you, the past election would have been moderately competitive.